Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Casting the Spotlight, episode number 194. And tonight we are back in solo form. We've got another edition of This or That. We're going to review some movies, and it is the kickoff to the NFL season. Oh yeah, it is. It is the best time of year. It is a great time.
Feels like a holiday.
It does.
It really does. I'm like, man. And this is a holiday week for me at work, which is a bad thing. Not last week, the holiday week was a good thing. Because I did get Monday off, but because I run her out working Saturday. So I got 2 more days of work, but I'm like, man, I almost feel like I should have tomorrow off, just in celebration of the beginning of NFL season. It's a hell of a week. Got the fantasy team all drafted.
Yeah. I know. I just did
my boys are leading it off here against the Eagles. I'm not gonna say I'm the most confident.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping for at least a well played game. We'll see how it goes. There's a lot of different moving parts.
We both got CD.
We do
on our team. So yeah, I had to draft and not that I was opposed to drafting him. I even said that before. I'm like, man, I would probably draft him. I think I said that a year or two ago, that I would probably draft him. But I don't think I've ever drafted a Cowboy because, frankly, kind of on purpose, but not so much too. Because if you know what I mean, seldom that I feel like, oh, Dak's the one I should go with. He's the best quarterback that I can get. You know what I mean? Even whenever the years, not even to shit on Dak, because he's got a lot of great qualities, but fantasy wise and numbers wise, no, I know, and he's great, and his intangibles, he's one of the best in the NFL. But it's so hard because there's so many talented quarterbacks too.
Oh yeah.
So it's if you don't fucking,
it's
but he's capable.
It's a crowded room of really good to great quarterbacks in the NFL right now.
What I will say too about Dak is he literally is a grown up in a place where it could be there's so much drama and chaos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at least he is mature and he's an adult and he's he says the right things and he's the guy for the job.
He's always.
But the problem is
mature. That is one thing I'll give him.
Getting past that hump, but he's, as far as all the stuff that's, if you're not looking, even some of his numbers are great, but if you're not even looking at numbers, he's one of the best locker room, podium leaders.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In the league, really. So I'll give him his due in that sense, but it's obviously, people want to see championships. And it's been fucking tough, man, under
and that's the
regime of Jerry Jones.
I loved Tony Romo growing up. I'm a fan of Dak now, and it's just I haven't seen one. Even watching the Cowboys documentary, man, on Netflix, it was they were sick. In that era,
oh, yeah.
They were the team, It's man, they've had some great teams, they've had some great players, some all-stars throughout the years since then. But it's just they haven't been able to put the pieces together.
No.
I don't know if this will be the year. I'm not saying that. I'm certainly not the fan saying that shit. So don't pin that on me. I'm realistic out here, but I at least, I think the defense is going to be, I'm hoping best case scenario, middle tier defense. But I hope offensively they can at least make things click. And I know the running game's weak, the passing game, though, we got some shit going on.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It'll be regardless, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
This is the thing.
This is going to be fun.
As an NFL fan, I just love football. My personal favorite teams, I've had my heart broken more than I've been happy. So I don't really put a lot of stake in that. I still am very invested in the team, and I want them to do well, and I keep up with them, but I'm not going to like have my heart ripped out if there's a playoff loss or if they have a bad season.
Well,
you know,
the thing is, if you're used to it, shouldn't your heart be like hardened by now to where like not that you're not willing to accept whenever they're good or can be good, but like just like I mean, I guess it's that thing where it's like it still hurts, but like
yeah,
just you're used to it.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. I think as a sports fan, man, you should feel that.
Yeah. It's hard, man. When in reality, it is so hard to win a Super Bowl. Like, they play all these games, and guys...
That's why you got all these... You got all these freaking bandwagoners. All these people that decide to hop on board to teams when they're hot.
Like, what teams?
What do you mean, what teams?
The Chiefs?
It used to be the Patriots. I mean, a lot of people didn't like the Patriots, but people really liked him too.
But I know the thing is, people around here, it really fucking had to, like, I'm sure annoying.
The Chiefs' influence around here has been rough, but
because they're good.
It's made you, in ways, root against them because I never disliked the Chiefs. I always was indifferent about them to, like, if their big rival is the Raiders. No matter what, I'm going to root for the Raiders over the Chiefs.
Yeah.
You know, like scenarios like that, but like more or less they had players throughout the years that I liked. Tony Gonzalez, Alex Smith for a while. They were like went to the playoffs a couple times, but I didn't necessarily like think of them a lot. I didn't, And then all of a sudden, they started winning Super Bowls. We lost the Rams. Everybody jumped board.
They did.
Can't blame them. But will it continue? Will it continue when the era is over? That's what we need to know. Will the dynasty reign supreme?
Was it like not that they can't win another Super Bowl in the next several years, but like is this run over?
They will win.
Some people are saying that with this guy,
Patrick Mahomes will get another ring.
Patrick Mahomes probably will, but maybe it'll slow down as far as their Super Bowl appearances. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean
they've been in 5 of 6.
One can hope.
It's I know. I get that. I don't really hate him though, but I mean I understand like
I wouldn't say I have a strong enough feeling to hate them.
Yeah. The Chiefs are not nearly like my
I'm annoyed by
dislike teams.
By the fandom in ways, but I think the team gets it done, so you can't really hate on it at the end of the day too much as a sports fan, even if you don't like them. Like, I'm not a fan of them, but if they're getting to the bowl every freaking year, it's like
there's a reason for it. Yeah.
You gotta, I guess,
nobody can beat them.
You gotta respect the game at least.
Yeah, you do. For sure. Like, and that's the thing is like sports have merit, so like it's actually fucking. If you outscore, if you win, like there's no question about that. And the Chiefs have made it like that many Super Bowls, all except that Bengals and Rams Super Bowl.
That was the outlier, and that was a fun bowl because of it. I'd like to see the Bengals back, but they didn't work on their defense at all or their line. They paid.
It's gonna be an uphill battle.
They paid 2 receivers a lot of money. Yeah, which is a crazy move, but hey, do what you do, man.
Anyway, I guess we can dive maybe more into the NFL whenever this game comes on too.
Yeah, we probably should.
So.
Just kind of busted into it.
This, the also thing coinciding with right now is the return of the Walking Dead spin-off series Daryl Dixon. Season 3 will be premiering September 7th, probably earlier if you have AMC Plus like always, but I fucking watch it live. I don't do that shit. You know what I mean? I want to see it live if I can, even though, that doesn't always work out. But I would say This is the right move. The Walking Dead characters. It fits the timeline. You gotta catch up. We gotta talk Daryl Dixon season 3 as it comes out here. But it'll be airing, what is that, just a few days away, 3 days?
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're gonna go with the Walking Dead characters as we drew for tonight.
Yes.
Bring it back. We did it once. It's time to do it again. There's a lot of rich, great characters in the show, so it's easy to rack up multiple times.
It's one of the best parts about the show is it gave so much characters, so many characters, so much depth.
Yeah, absolutely.
And am I leading off for you this time,
Yeah.
I believe?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Right, Leo?
So your main guy. You ready for it?
Yep.
It's going to be good old Eugene.
Uh-oh. Maybe he gets slapped.
Maybe not.
Maybe
not. He's got a chance. These aren't going to be the supreme characters. This is Eugene.
You know? Yeah, okay. He is a scientist.
No, he ain't. He's a fucking lying son of a bitch.
He is.
He is
yeah,
smart.
but he did
He is
help him out.
intelligent.
But I'm not the biggest Eugene advocate either.
He is one of the more OG characters, though, that was in the later parts of the show.
Yeah.
He was kind of starting to like him a little more then.
It was season 4, episode 10.
Even though he was
that
still
him, Abraham, and Rosita showed up.
Yeah.
I'm going to remember this stuff to the best of my ability. But yeah, it was just after middle of season 4. So he was around for most of the show whenever you look back.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Eugene, huh? All right.
Eugene. All right, first up, you got Eugene or Jesus. See? Told you. It wouldn't be the easiest. There'd be reasons to lean either way, I feel like.
I think I'm going to go with Jesus.
Gonna go with Jesus.
Yep.
You got a reason behind it or just the way you're feeling?
No, I mean, Eugene pissed me off in quite a few of the things that he said too, the stuff that he was around. Ultimately, I know that he paid off and he was the difference between them basically losing that final battle with Negan and him taking over than their group. Because if that hadn't happened, they had the numbers to just destroy the group ultimately. And yeah, they kind of teamed up with Alexander and stuff else.
Them.
But he had fucking hundreds of people, or 100 or two.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the odds were not great because I think they had him down before the bullets fired back at him, and then they all went down, and Eugene was the reason for that. He figured out a way after Rosita went off on him and everything. It almost looked like he was oh, listen, we're gonna destroy these motherfuckers, but instead he was no, I'm helping you guys out. I'm gonna turn the tide because he was kind of just forced to become Negan's right-hand man and bullet maker and uses skills that he had as to assist him and everything.
Yeah.
So, but it made the difference, man, no doubt. That was definitely maybe the biggest thing he did other than finding that community, which kind of fucked them over in some ways too. So yeah,
that was the thing.
All
too.
because
it was
some
in the
girl
later series you wanted to be a fan of his. But then he got freaking a hold of a ham radio and he's freaking lonely old bastard.
Yeah.
It almost fucked everybody over by sending them to this place that they ended up putting them in cells and giving them weird fucking screenings and shit. It's I don't want to spend 8 episodes on this bullshit. Let's be real.
No.
I mean, I get it. Because part of that was during, the lockdown stuff and whatnot, so they had to just, film with small groups, but... Bro. Too much time spent doing practically nothing. Sitting in, rooms and fucking cells.
It was, yeah. They were just
sitting...
oh, is he gonna do that? Oh, I talked to him earlier. Yeah, you walked around the building like 6 times and fucking, what the hell are you doing? That's what I mean. Like, that... I should rewatch it again because I've never rewatched a certain amount of those episodes.
So, I mean, why didn't we just spend more time with Pope and the Reapers? Their shit was actually action-packed. Yeah. Pope was a fucking psychopath. He was stomping people's heads into fucking coals. Yeah. They were fucking, like, lighting buildings on fire. The Watcher, whatever that thing was, all the arrows that were on fire. That shit was dope.
He should have been around.
Do more of that.
He should have been around until like at least 2/3 of the season 11 was done. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, and then if they want to tie things up with everything else in the last arc, you could try to do that.
But, and then yeah, they spent all this time on the. What were they? Their community. Was it the Commonwealth?
Yeah, that's the Commonwealth.
Yeah, fuck the Commonwealth.
So Eugene, yeah, I'm taking Jesus. And, like, I don't know, Jesus kind of had an impact whenever he first debuted and everything, and he was just a sly motherfucker, and Derek.
He, like, knew
Daryl
some, like,
and
martial arts and shit, too.
Yeah, Daryl and Rick stumbled upon him whenever they were, like, on the road trying to collect supplies and everything in, like, season 6. Mm-hmm. So he was around from them then until, like, the Whisperers represented themselves and stabbed him in, like, that flip. Remember that shit? I remember watching that with you whenever we were, like, watching it both for the first time that season. And I was like, oh, shit. But, yeah, he was cool. So, yeah, I would say throughout his run, definitely Jesus didn't piss me off like Eugene did. So I'm like, because I have such a differing opinion of Eugene. He's not my most hated by any means either, but sometimes you don't side with him at all.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So Jesus for the win. So Eugene, you're in the hole, bud. Next up, we got Eugene or Andrea. Another character that could turn the tides at times, but could also piss you off.
Oh yeah,
at times.
Yeah, she could. I mean, like, I didn't really think most of her points that she made about anything were that bad until she started siding with the governor on things, or just being like, oh, I'm gonna go back over here with it, you know, that, what the fuck. I thought, honestly, until then, like, I was with her for most of, like, the first, second, you know, season, like, in most of her, like, thinking and stuff. Not, like, every situation. She kind of pulled some shit in season 2. Everybody was an asshole to each other in ways in season 2. But it was, like, I mean, they're, you know, stuck on this farm, and they're fucking drama, you know, trying to avoid this walkers.
Yep.
But, I mean... And that's how I'm going to try to rank it, is because, like, even though people have a shorter shelf life, you know, whatever, just kind of, they're on the show, like, for a lesser time. Like, I don't have to have that impact me, you know, with Eugene and stuff
especially
like that, too.
With this kind of show.
But...
Because that's not always really the case.
Yeah. Longevity really doesn't mean, because it's just like, okay, but does longevity mean it's mid and, like, just it went a long time, or is that better than 5 fucking fantastic years, you know what I mean, or whatever? So it's like there's different ways of looking at it. But yeah, I mean, Andrea was a pretty interesting character, though. I think, like, where she started, like, how she ended up, and, you know, she got bit towards the end, and she ultimately got her take her own self out like she wanted way back at the beginning, like at the end of season 1.
Yeah.
Whenever she would, you know, wanted to stay in that room, and we've talked about that on here with Dale. Overall, I might say Andrea, actually.
All right. That one I did not really expect.
I know. I don't know. I didn't hate Andrea, really. I mean, I disagreed with some of the stuff she was doing in season 3, and it's just like, you should come back with the group. What the hell are you doing? That's what I wanted as, like, an early watcher still. I was like, what the hell, man? But,
well, this next one, we're just going to get out of the way. because I pretty much know your answer, but I wanted to include them because I know you're a big fan.
Yeah.
So, Eugene or Shane?
Well, definitely Shane. Yeah, man. I don't know. Like, Shane, dude. Like I'll talk to like Kyle, Brendan, and Gene actually about it too. They all like Shane, and like I like Shane too. But I'm like, I know there was times when he definitely acted, erratic and everything else. But like, he was
kind
early
of a
on.
dense and complex
He was.
character.
He really was. And I don't think anybody like had the long-term impact that he had, especially for being in only such a short time. Because like there was times when they would always refer to him or like, oh, this impacted. He was where a lot of the characters got to. They just weren't there yet. Like it wasn't until season 4 or 5 when they really knew what it was like to be on the road, grizzled, hungry, and trying to fucking, you know what I mean? Like this mindset. Like nothing he said he was really wrong, but he was kind of ahead of his time in the apocalypse, like what he was ready for, and nobody else was really at that place, including Ricky.
He was like a bit too intense.
He was, and they all got to that place eventually. But I mean, I understand like it came off that way, but like if you really watch the scenes, I don't disagree with some of his decisions during it either. Like he actually tried to be, like to comfort, like whenever Carol like knew she lost his daughter, he tried to comfort her and like actually be like, hey, like trying to like scrub her off. She was like in the woods, just, I'm sure just, they had just had Sophia's like, oh, like, even though she had gotten bit and everything. So Shane was just like, so he was still like doing, gentlemanly and just good natured things, even though like he would have these moments where he just would erupt, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like he wasn't like but I definitely think he was misunderstood. I mean, I'm not gonna say he was always morally in the right character either, but he like in certain ways he was right about a lot of things, but also like that helped me, become a huge fan of John Bernthal too, and like some of the other stuff that he was in after that, and now as the Punisher and stuff is really good. So. Yeah, that one I would give to Shane. Shane's probably still in my top 10, like probably in like the later half, but he's up there, I think.
Yeah, I knew you were a big fan. I just wanted to include him at some point, but I'm like, I know he's gonna win probably within the list. It's just like I don't want to make him the main because unless you're putting heavy hitters in there, I know he'd beat everyone.
Oh no, I mean he would beat some like characters, but yeah, if there's, who some of my other like top characters are. Yeah. Yeah, Eugene, he's not looking too good so far.
He's down by 3, and I've read 3, so not too great.
I don't think the competition has ever went 10-0 against the main. The main has been 10-0, or I guess 9-1.
Oh,
yeah,
maybe.
Both those.
Yeah, that could be.
But the alternative has never beaten the main. That like I'm not saying it'll happen this time.
It could. It very well could. Next up, you got Eugene or Jerry. Jerry was a happy, lovable guy.
He was. He enjoyed life. He made you feel good. And like, it's kind of like what we talked about before. It's like everybody would trust, like just that being in that guy's presence. Like you can tell he's like a comforting presence. Like you don't have to worry. And whether you're like a female, a male, whatever, like that dude's got your back because he's just overwhelming, but he's such a nice dude.
Yeah.
But he's not afraid to fucking have it out and go to war like with Ezekiel and shit like he was. So it's like he's definitely got a softer side and nature about him, but he's also the most loyal fucking dude,
Oh yeah.
So I definitely have nothing like bad to say about Jerry. I mean, obviously Eugene was a lot more probably developed than Jerry as far as like long term. I mean, like what happened to Jerry didn't he live throughout the whole thing, or did he get killed?
I was trying to remember
what
that too.
happened to
I
him?
thought that Jerry had gotten killed at some point within the series when it was still going. I'm pretty sure. I'm like, didn't Jerry die? And I looked it up and he hadn't died. I'm pretty sure. And I'm like,
I don't remember him now.
I don't remember what happened to Jerry.
They just were, for a long time, they just, in that season 11 especially, they just were not flashing back to the community, I feel like. And it was all just the Commonwealth. It was like, dude, like, where the fuck was everybody else?
Yeah. I want to see them probably more.
I know.
At least
I'd rather
the
see out
community
there
shit's
than
going
this.
on.
It's like, this shit's getting political and this is a post-apocalyptic time. Like, what are we doing?
I gotta go through all this background check shit.
Yeah. They were like doing that for fucking so long. But,
you know, not the best. Not the best
Who
way
is
to end
this
the
one?
show. But it was... Who was it?
oh, well, Shane, I did take Shane.
You did take Shane. It's Jerry. Eugene
Oh.
or Jerry.
Yeah. What?
We both forgot.
I know. See, like, Jerry's time was so, like, it was more composed, I feel like, than just, it was, like, I don't know. I felt like after, like, you got to meet him in the first couple seasons, like, they just started showing less and less of him. I don't know
and
why.
he was such a lovable
I know!
guy. It's like, let me
I
see
know.
more of Jerry. He's like a nice presence to have around
Yeah.
within these shows because sometimes the shit's heavy and dark.
Oh, yeah. But he definitely was, like... And he was one of the only characters throughout the whole show that pretty much, like, had a smile on his face all the time.
Oh, yeah.
He was just like, I mean, that was part of his character, but, you know, and they're always dealing with crazy situations. But he always seemed like his nature was just in a good mood.
Mm-hmm.
So, can't fault him for that. Yeah, that one is tough because, like, I mean, there's a lot of Eugene stuff that sticks out because he was there for a long time, and, like, Jerry was there for quite a while. It just seemed like they didn't really show as much of him in season 10 and 11 that I can remember. But to be fair, those are episodes that you and me both, I'm sure, have seen less of.
Yeah.
You know, than some. So, I don't know. That one makes me want to rule in favor of Eugene, as problematic as that is, because I probably like Jerry more in ways. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it's who you personally like more.
I know. Well, that's true. But
it's your call.
yeah, I might go with Jerry actually. I don't know. I was weighing it for a minute.
So Jerry for the win.
I do like Eugene more than some people, though, for sure. Like more than like some characters.
Well, let's see. Do you like Eugene more than Mercer? Which was one of probably the best characters they introduced in like the final season when they did the Commonwealth shit.
Yeah. I probably have to take Eugene in that scenario. Like I liked Mercer, but he was around for such a like only stint of time, I feel like too, and I liked him, but man, that whole community just by and large it just was kind of like, what the hell is going on? We need some shit to be popping off. Like, why is it like this? Like, we're used to this shit being, they're out there, you know what I mean, in walkers, and it just being a good time. Crazy time.
Yeah.
I like Mercer though, but
that's
yeah,
the thing.
I that one is definitely going to be outweighing in Eugene's favor.
Mercer though, he
was one of the best season 11 characters.
It was
for
kind
sure.
of like, dude, look at you. You can whoop some ass around here.
I know.
Why are you just
Why is he
going
giving
along
in to
with
these
this
little fuckers?
bullshit?
Yeah, that's what I thought. He wanted purpose and reason.
Yeah, well, make your purpose and reason freeing all these people from this bullshit.
Didn't it show like him when he was younger or something, or no?
I think it might have.
It showed some other characters' backgrounds, and
he was one of probably like the main 3 or 4 of the new people introduced.
Yeah, probably.
All right, so Eugene's on the board.
He's got one.
We got Eugene or Bob?
Bob Stookie? I'd probably go with Eugene on that one.
All right. Yeah, dude, Bob.
He pulled some son of a bitch.
He was a
moves, too.
son of a bitch sometimes. It's like, Bob, I'm not gonna get killed for you.
You got no meds in your bag?
It's
And
like,
he has like a bottle, or like
You're
3
like,
bottles of alcohol.
you're hammered. I gotta come save you, dude. I'm gonna leave your ass next time.
Dude, Michonne and Daryl wanted to beat the shit out of him. Whenever they saw that, and like that was when Tyrese was going through his shit too, because he saw fucking Karen and David set on fire. So he was losing his mind too, and Bob was fucking taking alcohol, and I remember us talking about that when we were watching. And I was like, Michonne and Daryl probably just like, what the fuck is wrong with these two? It's like they got shit they want to fucking take care of. Oh man.
Yeah, Bob was that's the thing. Bob wasn't actually a bad guy. Bob was a decent guy. He was.
No, he wasn't. He just had
He had
issues too. He wasn't a bad
problems.
Yeah, he did.
And it cost them in big ways. So it's like,
oh yeah,
there was easy reasons to be mad at Bob.
Dude, he was one of the doctors, and he had no meds in his bag.
He had a decent heart. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was just an addict, you know?
Yeah.
But you're going with Eugene for the win on that one. All right.
I feel good about that. I don't hate Bob though. I don't have anything bad, like horrible to say to Remember fucking what's the Gareth and those little fuckers ate his leg and shit. Remember that? Mm-hmm. Amputated it, threw him in the thing, and then they all got slaughtered in the church. That shit was hard as fuck. It was like early season 5, like season 5, man. Jesus.
Yeah,
that season.
Good season.
Yeah.
Followed up by still a good season, but one of my like lesser favorites.
What's
6?
That? Oh yeah. Yeah, honestly, 5 in terms of like the season ratings, like the end of 5 and throughout 5's run, it was like almost the peak, maybe a little after that too. And then they hit another few points where it was like really high, but yeah. All right, who we got next?
So Eugene's got 2 on the board now. Still down though.
He is getting
by
that ass
4.
whooped.
So next up, you got Eugene or Judith Grimes.
How about I'm gonna say Eugene, but I do like Judith a lot, but we didn't really get to see her more grown until like much later in the series too.
And she was still a young kid.
Yeah, she was. I mean, she had an impact on the show, obviously, and she was the one that initially like, oh, Lori's pregnant, like it was Shane's kid probably, and you got to see her entire growth up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of cool because she was like part of like the legacy of the show, and yet that happened or Lori knew she was pregnant in season 2. So, oh man,
yeah,
crazy. A lot of shit happened.
She did have some great scenes though.
Mm-hmm.
In the time she was there.
And her like relationship with Negan was supposed
great.
to be Carl's relationship with Negan in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
That was what happened then. So
yeah, that was like one of her high points of the show for sure. All right, so you're taking Eugene though.
Yeah.
So he is climbing back into the game here, only down by 1. Is still out of favor of Eugene, 4-3. Next up, we got Eugene or Carl Grimes.
probably Carl.
Yeah.
Carl.
He's a classic.
Yeah. I mean, he had some son of a bitchin' moments too.
When he was young.
Yeah.
When he was young,
he was a
an
son
ass.
of a bitch in season 2.
Oh yeah, I fucking hated him. Season 3, he started to make the turn, but he still had a lot of moments where you were like, dude. And even in 4,
he was
there
cool
was times
for
you were
like
you
some
were
of
a
season
son
4,
of a bitch, dude.
and then like he was a real dick to Rick after they escaped and everything. He was yelling at him.
Horrible.
Dude, it was like, dude, he fucking got your ass out, and he did what he could. And, like he let
It's
all
like,
that
look
shit.
at this dude.
Yeah.
He's almost on his deathbed,
Yeah.
and you're fucking yelling at him and shit.
Yeah, he had moments like that, but by and large, Carl, because Carl did have a lot
Once
of
he
great
grew,
moments.
though, like, I feel like 5 through 8 and stuff, he was a lot more of a likable character. It was just those first few seasons with him. It was like, man.
6, midway through season 6 is when he lost his eye.
Mm-hmm.
This is whenever they were trying to wipe out all the walkers in Alexandria. Because they just flooded the place.
He had the patch. That was kind of cool. Patch, Carl.
Eye patch. The eye patch era.
Alright, so Carl for the win. Next up, we got Eugene. Or we got Sasha.
I'm probably going to go with Eugene on that one.
Okay.
But, I didn't really feel I didn't have too strong of feelings on Sasha's character. I mean, she was likable in a lot of ways. There were some times when she, like, also was, her perspective would just annoy the shit out of you too. You know what I mean? But, you're meant to feel that way. And, like, that's what's interesting about this character. It's not even just, is it this person's opinion or this person's? It's, like, it's all these opinions, and some of them you really like, and some of them you don't. And it's like, it's more than just black, white, in the, you know what I mean? Like, in the middle. Like, there's so many different kind of ways of looking at stuff, because, like, if we're uncivilized like that world is, it's just, like, they have to really assess, like, what the right or wrong thing is to do, all the time. And, I think it was kind of crazy the way Sasha died, like, where she took that cyanide pill that Eugene gave her, actually, speaking of. And, whenever not the governor, but Negan released her, he was just like, oh, I've got her, and, like, she's on my team, basically thing. But he had no idea that she took that, but, like, her whole thing was, she knew Negan was going to open up the door. So by the time it gets open, she knows that, like, she's probably going to bite him, like, in walker form and stuff. And then obviously somebody shot him, or shot her or whatever, but
she got close, though.
She did, yeah. So she did have a lot of cool moments and moves and things that I liked about her too. So I probably liked her older brother Tyrese, man. He was pretty cool. He had his shithead stuff though too, but he also had a lot going on. He was overwhelmed. But then when he started punching fucking Rick and trying to punch Daryl, it's just like, dude, you're gonna get your ass kicked whenever.
Yeah.
Like, not that he could, because he could fight too, but it's just like, they didn't even do anything, but he was mad at something they said, and then he started hitting Rick, remember that? But then Rick got really pissed off and came over there and just started wailing on him and kicked him in the gut and everything, and so yeah, that was like early season 4. But then he just like lost his shit for a while in season 4.
Oh yeah.
After that,
I mean, he kind of had that tendency. Anyways, he did have a really good heart though too.
Yeah, he did. Well, he took care of Judith. Like, he grabbed her on the way out. So like,
he was like the reason she ended up living in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I mean, he had her for like weeks before they all found each other. So like, he fucking, can you imagine that? It's like, he fucking does a good job taking care of the baby. Mm-hmm. It's just like, holy shit, wow. It's like, Yeah, and then he that Adam dude that was in that No Shit Sanctuary episode whenever they were at that little place, and remember him, the dude that was chewing gum and was one of the fucking dudes.
Bitch.
Yeah, that dude was a motherfucker, but that was dope. Like Tyrese always just felt like a lot of backup too, man. Like he definitely had. I think he most of the time, other than whenever that shit happened after Karen and David got killed and stuff, and he just kind of lost his shit for a while. Like he always was on. I feel like in most situations, Tyrese, other than like during that time, which you can almost make an exception for, but he did do some dumb shit too. I think he was on the morally right side of most of the arguments, other than that situation.
Yeah.
But, well, and that's just, he reacted, but it's just like, it was a fucking bad idea, man. They're going to beat the hell out of you.
Got real mad about the bodies on fire, man.
He was. Somebody dragged him out there, man.
I know who.
All right. Is that it?
Nope, you got one more. Is it going to be a tie? Is it going to be out of favor of Eugene? It's crazy he climbed back in so far. Next up, we got Eugene or Alpha.
I was thinking about like the Whisper like arc and everything, and some of those episodes I think I've still only seen like once or twice, and I'd love to like go back and just see how it all played out, like up until even her, maybe not even later than that, but like up until she like got decapitated and everything, everything from Negan. Because like later in the show, even past like Rick Grimes era, there like that was still a really interesting arc. I think the Whispers. So
yeah, Beta was dope.
Beta was.
I liked him a lot.
Ryan Hurd. Or Hurst. Yeah. Probably overall, Eugene. But like I liked Alpha's character, and it was kind of fascinating, and definitely like she did a great job at putting on that really fucking creepy, really making it feel like horror-esque vibes, like in the 9th season. The 9th season was really good. So yeah, so like whenever they went back in time and like she was going like, trying to show like Lydia the ropes and everything whenever she was younger. That episode was some creepy shit because some of the stuff that she was doing, it was like, and then the heads on pikes and whenever they like infiltrated, like the whole like Alexandria or Hilltop or wherever they were, I guess Alexandria, whenever they were doing like that fair. That was fucked. And they just off people quietly and put the heads on the pikes. Yeah, she did a really good job. Really good job. And shit. Some of that shit was weird. And then
the Whispers were like
banging Negan.
Creepy, like horror villains.
Yeah.
It was dope.
It was. Yeah, and that was much better than really anything that came after. Like the Commonwealth and some of that stuff. I mean, the Pope stuff was cool too. It was short-lived though, but the Whispers was like that was a very worthy follow-up to the Savior War, versus like Rick's group and everything. It was a very worthy like storyline arc after that.
Oh yeah,
that was great. And like initially, I don't know if I would have given it the credit before I had like seen it all that it deserved. I was like, is that going to be as good? But like it also took it in another direction than being like the Governor arc was, or like the Negan arc, or anything in between, while still being interesting. And like it also brought the Walkers into more like relevancy again, where sometimes when they'd have the human to human conflicts, the Walkers would kind of take a back seat. Like it's like, that's interesting, but like this is a post-apocalyptic world, and it's cool for the Walkers to be
always going to be a threat.
Always a threat, yeah. So in any minute, really, anybody could turn into one. Like you get bit or once you pass it. So Yeah, I think what did I say? I'd probably go with Eugene for that one.
All right, so a 5-5 split.
I did enjoy Alpha and the portrayal. I forget what the actress's name is, but she did a great job, and that was that was a really, really well done character.
It was. I really liked the Whisperers as well. I thought Alpha and Beta were both pretty cool.
Yeah,
in their
I liked
own
them
ways. All right. I think I'm in the hot seat.
Are you? What was the split on that one?
It was a even split.
Really? For
5-5.
Eugene? Damn.
He climbed back in.
He was getting his ass whooped there for a while.
Yeah.
All right, well, next up,
He's a fighter, man. What can you say?
He is. Well, let's fire it back up for yours here real quick. The Walking Dead characters category, this or that tonight. Your main is going to be Beth Green.
Okay, I like Beth, actually. I think
Yeah.
she's kind of an underappreciated, like, character, but also a character that, like, you grew to really start to love as she was exiting
Yeah.
this show. In
It
a lot
almost
of ways, it's
felt like her role was kind of cut short. Like, it could have went... She was at her most interesting right before she got off in the show.
which in a way makes her more likable because you're left wanting more of her, but
it didn't feel like her
she wasn't
character had
paid off,
matured. Yeah, like fully. Like, it felt like there was more.
yeah.
That's a good way of putting it, though. It wasn't paid off.
So, we shall see how she holds up here. Who do we got?
All right, well,
Leo?
I know this is going to be a tough one, given that we really like the Commonwealth arc and everything. So it's going to be Beth Green or Pamela Milton.
Yeah, she was pretty hateable.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if she was
yeah.
more hateable or that old bitch in the Dead City. She's really dislikable, too.
What's her name? The Dama?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. The Dama kind of sucked, too,
Yeah.
But I thought the Dama was more interesting than Pamela.
That's probably true.
Because the Dama had more of like a power dynamic and control over even the Croat, who was like dangerous,
Yeah.
So she was more like criminal. Pamela was like, oh, I'm fucking a suit. I'm all buttoned up and political and shut the fuck up with your stupid ass haircut and your dumb ass suit. Yeah, I was not a fan of hers, really. But
no, it's true. No, honestly, that shit was
like,
annoying. Their political
like,
villains were fucking annoying.
She had the look where she could have been a cool villain if she was evil.
Yeah.
But she wasn't evil. She was just like
a
buttoned up, like, suit political character. It's like
the bitch in fucking Dead City, though. You're just like, I don't want to look at that face. You're like, But she's meant to look creepy and fucking,
she's
just whatever. Like,
domineering.
But it's just like, you're just like, ugh. Wait, she got killed, didn't she? Or
no, she got burned.
Oh my.
She came back burned.
Oh
remember?
my god. They need to offer, man.
She came back burned. So that's even more of a creepy factor. But
Mush. Ran over lasagna.
Come on, man. Your face looks like mush.
Think about saying that. Oh, shit. Oh, that's brutal. But it's just like, yeah, I mean, burnt face, man. Her face did probably look like ran over lasagna. It's not a description you want to be said.
No.
All right.
Yeah, so what were we doing? Oh, yeah, Beth.
Yeah.
Beth, for sure.
I figured on that one. Pamela. Got no love for Pamela.
No.
Alrighty, well, it's alright, because she's not very likable. So next up, we've got Beth
I wouldn't
Green,
think so.
or another throwback, Dale Horvath.
Oh, yeah. I feel like there's a split opinion on Dale, because, like, you and a big group of other people are like, yeah, I'm not a big fan at all of Dale. And then some other people think that Dale, like, there's a lovable quality about Dale, you know? Because he was trying to do the right thing and keep, like, a piece of the world alive. But
Yeah.
it's like, at the same time, it's like, man, you're old. This is the way things are going to be now, kind of.
There's no way
They
he
got
could
to
have
be
led.
this way. You got to adapt to this now.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, it's like you want to have pieces of the old world back where you can have get-togethers and gatherings and things like that. Oh, we're having the county fair, you know. But to do that, you have to conquer this situation at least a little bit first to get to a place like that.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, I
It's like-
understood it, like
Yeah.
why he wanted to keep their humanity intact, which is like, if we do this, if we kill him,
I mean, if you have your people and your humanity with them, and you know, I'm doing this for my people, as fucked up as it is to have to do it, your humanity's still kind of there.
That was a very interesting arc, though, like at the farm, like towards the tail end of season 2, whenever they were deciding what to do with Randall, though, because like there's a number of different things you can do. You know what I mean? Do you have him try to join? Do you have him just, keep him locked up for a while? Do you go and leave him on his own, like however many miles out, like they were going to? Or do you drive him out further? Do you kill him? Do you know what I mean? Like, do you just let him loose? Like, but those are all things you got to take into account too, because how can you just let him loose if he knows where the place is, if he finds his people and they come back here and try to take this place? You know what I mean? So it's like you cannot risk that.
No.
So otherwise, him
you
and
can't
30
just let
people,
him
that's what
walk out
Shane
of
was
there.
saying. He's like, what are we gonna do? Are we just gonna let him loose? And he was just being a sarcastic ass dude. He's just like, they're gonna send this kid a care package. Or he's just like fucking like scratching his head all the time. And he's like, I'll tell you. He's like, these people, they're not gonna do what they should do. He's like, they're gonna pussyfoot around on this. And Andrea's just like, have you ever considered like a lighter touch? And she's like, oh, doing this. I mean, but in ways, like, he understood the assignment too. It's just like you can't just let him loose like that. I don't necessarily think driving him out like 50 miles or even more than that would be bad. You know what I mean? Because he's still not around them. I don't know. Like, it's a huge debate. Like, then some people were like too naive to it all, and Dale's perspective was the most like open, like in terms of, if we're thinking optimistically and not necessarily with the smartest, he was like, oh, just give him a chance to prove himself. I'd be around, But if, like, just say if he were to kill somebody and then they all find that everybody else will be so pissed off because he'd be like, I fucking told you this was gonna happen. You know what I mean? Especially Shane. Rick was. That was one of those situations too where Rick wasn't even really making the head call. Shane was absolutely in this direction. I think Carol kind of agreed with Dale, just more quietly, She didn't really say much about it.
Especially at that point in time, probably.
Yeah. But that was one of the rare times when Rick didn't necessarily know what he wanted to do, and he started leaning more towards what Shane wanted to do in that circumstance. He's like, I really think that this is, probably the better idea, and to just deal with it and get it over with. Like, it's hanging somebody or what have you, but they were trying to figure out, they're like, is it just better to just one moment, one guy, get rid of the issue, and then now they don't have to worry about it. But like, that was Dale's whole point, is like, it just, if they do that, like, how would that be to live with that after? Like, if they just done that and then just stayed on the farm for a while, or if it would have caused a lot more tension during the group. So like, that situation was one of the most, I feel like, interesting, if you were them, what would you do kind of questions, in this situation. Because there's so many answers on that board. But yeah, I definitely don't think you could be like naive to it, but it doesn't necessarily mean you have to take the... I don't think it would have been the worst if they had just done what they did and like left him with a few supplies, a knife to cut himself loose, but you can do that after we take off. We're fucking leaving. You know? Because like, yeah, you're leaving him out there, but...
They didn't want to leave.
Who?
Like,
well, Shane wanted to shoot him after he was basically like, I know...
But like, if you were going to let him free... They wanted to stay at the farm at that point, so it's like,
yeah, and
that was the whole worry about it.
Well, because after Rick and Shane were gonna leave him, he's like, I went to school with Maggie for Christ's sake, and that was why the Rick and Shane fight started, because Shane was about to shoot him, and then Rick pushed him out of the way, and he's just like, he knows, and Rick's just like, he knows where we are, like he's gonna find us regardless if we just leave him out here, whatever. That's why he was like, at that point, he was like, we gotta kill him or whatever, because now he knows, and we don't want him as part of our group, and you can't keep him locked up forever. So, like, I understood that, because Shane was just thinking, that's the difference, is like Dale was thinking like best case scenario, and Shane was thinking worst case scenario. Doesn't mean he was wrong, or really that Dale was, but like, how can you take that risk whenever you have so many people that you're responsible for, you know? So... But Shane was just like, nope, it's a threat. Fucking eliminate it.
Yeah.
And he wasn't really wrong. Like, if you looked further into the show, he definitely wasn't wrong, because how many people could you really trust without, like, really vetting them, you know?
Especially, yeah, in the apocalypse.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that being said, all that, I'm going Beth.
Yeah. Wait, who was that last one? Oh, just
Dale.
Oh, yeah, Dale. All right, well. All right, yeah. Little homage to Dale there. Dude, Judge, Jury, and Executioner. That was the whole debate episode where they like were all having that huge talk and stuff, and then towards the end of it, whenever Dale got ripped open and due because Carl got that walker loose and he popped out of the mud, and then it found Dale.
Yeah.
Tore him open. Rick couldn't shoot him in the head, so Daryl took it and did it. Sorry, brother. And then the episode it was one of the few episodes that went black and there was no music. Only after, like, huge deaths have they ended like that.
Yeah.
If you want to call Dale a huge death.
R.I.P. I mean, at that point in time, for sure.
No, he was. And he was a Frank Darabont guy, too. He was one of the people that fucking was in upheaval whenever Darabont got basically released as a showrunner. They fucked him. They really did. Like, numbers were up. Like, what are you bitching about?
Yeah, I don't remember what the case was there.
Alrighty, well, next up we've got Beth Green or Merle Dixon.
Damn. They both, like, weren't necessarily main people, you know? But they had, like, their own kind of arcs before their death.
Yeah. They both had pretty nuanced arcs leading up into that, though. Like, the Merle with the governor stuff and, like, Beth with, like, you know, season... I guess you didn't really see too much of her in season 2. You saw some, though. And then into season 3, 4... 5.
I think on this one, I'm probably taking Merle.
Yeah.
But it's because, like, I mean, he was a complex character. I really liked Beth. But, like, Merle, like, sometimes in scenes, Beth was just there. But she was in the background doing whatever. Anytime Merle was in the scene, he was, like, stealing the scene.
Yeah.
You know?
She was at her most prominent season 4 on, Beth. Especially after the prison got demolished. Beth was like, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But then, like, you didn't even see her.
A little bit leading
until
up to that.
One of the last episodes of season 4 through, like, the first 4 of season 5. You finally saw her again. It was like, what the hell is she even doing? So, like, a whole bunch of time went by where you didn't see her from the end of 4. Because you didn't even see her in the finale, I don't think. I think you saw her in like the second to last episode or something, and then you didn't see her again. It was like, what the hell? And then by the time that hospital arc happened, they were gonna get her back, and then she gets shot in the head.
Yeah.
So it was like, damn.
That was such shit.
It was just, and the problem is, yeah, it would be if it was an encapsulation, but she was at her most interesting before she left. But the problem was, it wasn't like she had a complete story. It was a premature death. You know what I mean? So that's one thing.
And that's the thing. Merle felt like his ending arc fit him, and it was like a good way to go out for him, and like it was like a redeemable Merle moment. It was like,
dude, that episode's one of the best ever.
Yeah.
This Sorrowful Life.
And it almost felt like
was
Beth
so sick.
was really getting development within her character, and then she was just like cut short.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I gotta go Merle, just because I feel like he was, though kind of a never necessarily a forefront character, not too long was he around. Like, he was a very complex and full character with a full story.
They both started as like a reoccurring, because like Beth wasn't even in nearly every episode of season 2.
Yeah.
But they both started as kind of like a reoccurring role, and then by the time Merle got to season 3 and Beth got to season, I think 3 and on, they were both part of like the main cast, and pretty much from there on until their exits and stuff. But
About game time.
oh shit. But yeah, so you're gonna go with Merle? Yeah, I think he definitely has. There's so much going on, like with, and he's one of the characters that it fit him. It's like, it's kind of sucks because he was so entertaining, especially by the end, and like most of the whole character was. But it's like, it felt like in that situation, especially that long into the apocalypse, which was only like shy of a year, maybe. But somebody like Merle, who is erratic and fucking wild and just doing all that stuff, it makes sense that he wouldn't necessarily make it a whole... Like, you could see him maybe lasting a long time if he was smart, but he doesn't think everything through.
Yeah.
So he's a great hand to have, so he just, at some point or another in the apocalypse, it felt like something was going to get him, you know? But he had just one of the greatest arcs, and like, especially as a one-off even episode, like considering where they were in the storyline, that he owned that episode especially, and I mean definitely a lot of season 3 that he was in, and or even the cameo in season 2 was iconic. It was so good.
Yeah.
But that like last episode was just wholesome, and it told kind of one story in the midst of like the overarching story, and it like sealed the deal between the governor and like Merle's fate, and like how like all that went out. But I don't know, like Merle Merle did it for like his brother, he said, and everything, and he really, I don't know, it was such a classic episode. I mean, that's probably in my top 5 all time. But yeah, I loved that one. Beginning to end, it was fucking awesome. So it was my first season watching live too.
Yeah.
So it holds
It was
a
a
special
great
place.
season.
Anyway, you went with Merle. All right.
Old Merle.
I'm gonna have to grab this here in a second. I'll grab it here. But next up, we're gonna go with Beth Green or Judith Grimes.
Damn. Do run mine too, huh? That's tough. Because I like Judith, like you said. There was a lot of moments too within her run that I really enjoyed. Her stuff with Negan and seeing her a little more grown, and with Rick and Carl's hat, and it was neat to have her around because it felt like she kind of carried the Grimes legacy with her, you know?
What is it on Peacock? Or not Peacock.
Prime.
Prime.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway.
But yeah, she was like the Grimes within the later seasons, so you really did kind of attach to her. But
and she was the life that you initially saw grow throughout the show.
yeah, so it is tough. But by a hair, I'm probably still gonna go with Beth. Because although, yeah, well, it should be on Prime, right? Maybe it's not. Thursday night? Oh, yeah, there it is. It's Peacock now.
Oh.
Tonight, I guess.
Well, let's get on
It's
there.
usually on Prime.
So you're going Beth still?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think because you got to see Judith as like a
She was
teenager
like a kid.
for a time.
And yeah, Beth, I don't know. She didn't we can only say it so many times, but she didn't necessarily have the full growth of her character or anything.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
she was still a character that I really grew to like and care about. And she broke your heart, you know? She left you wanting more of her. So
Yeah. She did. Broke your heart, but she definitely was likable in her run, I think. So next up, so you took Beth?
Beth.
All right. Next up, we have gotten Beth Green or Negan. A great beloved.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I feel like Negan was like, to me, as much as it's like you love seeing Negan work with the group and like have these interactions and this stuff, like I'm really glad we have this arc in this story of Negan. But like villain Negan is still the best Negan to me.
Yeah.
That's like, he was just such a character.
He was so
at that
entertaining.
point in time. So, yeah, he's like one of my favorite characters within the show. It's like Rick, Michonne, and him are probably like rounding out the top three for me. So, definitely Negan, and that's obviously no shade against Beth.
Yeah.
She's winning a few of these rounds already, but yeah.
Yeah,
Negan would be hard to beat on one of these lists.
He's
so.
he's still kicking, man. He's still going in this post-apocalyptic time.
Yeah, which is like, as much as I like Maggie and stuff too, like even this past season of Dead City, I felt like a lot of Negan's story was a little more of what was pulling me into it.
Mm-hmm.
Just because like, some of the stuff, man, what was his face? The guy that started with a P, right? The dude that was Maggie, with Maggie's group and stuff. Just like everybody within Maggie's group just sucked.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it made her story like harder to watch.
Maggie. Our kickoff time.
But Negan, man, he just carries that charisma.
He does. No, Negan's one of the great characters ever in that show.
So, Negan.
You're going Negan. All right. Well, next up we've got Beth Green or T-Dog.
T-Dog. He was a character that was likable, but like what I'm saying about Beth, where you don't get to know, she didn't get fully developed. You really didn't get to know a whole lot about T-Dog, you know?
Yeah. He was like in a good amount of season beginning to end, I feel like, just 20-something episodes or whatever, but he didn't always have a lot of scenes like to himself or like getting to know him. He was kind of like always additional to scenes, I feel like.
He was likable.
In ways.
You were on his side. He went out like a hero.
Mm-hmm. Save Carol.
Yeah. But like, whenever I think about Walking Dead characters and I'm like, man, the show, and I'm like thinking about different things with different characters.
Mm-hmm.
T-Dog is not near the top of the list of the person I'm going to think of within the show. I'm going to think of Beth way before T-Dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Beth, yeah, for the win.
All right. He hates him. Okay.
I like Cavante too.
All right. Next up, we've got Beth Green or Lizzie Samuels, the girl that was like thinking that they're oh, you shouldn't kill walkers.
Oh,
That was saving them and shit. Then she killed her sister Mika. Mika. She killed Mika.
Was that the Grove? Was that episode? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, they were all throughout season 4.
Yeah.
Like, you saw them quite a bit. And
yeah.
Carol kind of took them under their wing, was kind of like their motherly like figure. She told her, even one of them was like, accidentally called her mom one time, and she's like, don't call me mom. Like, she doesn't want that, but she didn't mind being their like figure for like kind of taking care of them, and give them guidance.
Yeah.
But so they were kind of attached to Carol, and then they were with Tyrese. Actually, Tyrese is with the girls and Judith.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Lizzie was kind of a nut because she was fine with killing people, but she was not fine with killing walkers. It was like
her mentality was a little warped, but like the world she grew up in was warped. The like world she was seeing was warped. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like she was a kid, she didn't really know how to respond or react to it necessarily, but she was a cool character for the fact of like a horror sense.
Yeah.
Where you're like, this leads to some creepy ass shit.
That Grove episode was great.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like the thought of a little girl quote unquote befriending a walker and like bringing it back and shit and like doing stuff with it, like that's kind of like, that's a cool horror concept.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I cared about and liked Beth a lot more.
Yeah.
So,
like those Beth. The girls were only literally in like that's. I guess they made an appearance whenever like Tyrese was about to pass away in season 5. But all right, well next up we've got Beth Green or Philip Blake, but you know him as the governor.
Ooh. Man.
How the hell did this happen in the first fucking 6
I know,
seconds?
He's sitting on the ground. It's like, really? We just had the kickoff.
He's gonna steal the attention away. Everybody's pumped.
Now they're getting in each other's face. The game hasn't started.
I know.
He spit on him, bro. Are you kidding me?
On Dak?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And now he's, what, getting ejected from the game?
Oh my god. What the hell is going on?
Jalen Carter, too. He's such a big name on that line. Why would you do that, you fool?
Yeah, it was stupid. Alright, where are we at?
Who are we on? Oh, yeah. So maybe a controversial take, but I'm going to take the governor. Because...
No, I mean, not really.
I don't know, man. Just... Within that show, I think there's some great villains, and Negan and the Governor top that list.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. So it's like, I thought the Governor's story, his character himself, even seeing his individual episodes, like, out on his own, doing his thing, like, kind of working his way back to being
that was
him.
dope.
Like, yeah, that was all great stuff. Like, he was a very villainous, but very intriguing and like just brutal character. So like he might not have been the most likable, but I always was entertained when he was on screen, for better or worse, you know? So yeah.
He had a good like season and a half run. He was like one of the great villains. Absolutely. Big villain in the comics. Alrighty, well.
And they're running the ball a lot more than people probably assumed here to start.
Beth Green.
She's doing well.
We got her next up against another Grimes. Lori Grimes.
Oh. See, there's a lot of ways you could have went with those Grimes. And,
that's why I had to say that first.
You know, a lot of those Grimes probably would have been chosen. But probably not Lori, because I'm going Beth.
Nope.
I mean, I know Lori, like, she obviously had a very impactful, like, piece to the story early on, but also that carried within the show. So, like, without her, the show wouldn't have been what it was. So, like, she was a very important and influential character. But I liked Beth way more.
Yeah.
I did not care for Lori. So, that's that.
No sympathy whenever she passed?
I mean, no, that was a sympathetic, sad
Yeah.
moment in episode, especially since it was like the birth and everything.
And Carl had to shoot her.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was brutal.
That was all really rough.
That was after that Andrew son of a bitch pulled the alarm. That was the whole reason T-Dog died, is because he stopped his walkers. Carol got out. It threw... I think Daryl, Rick, and somebody else got... And I think maybe Glenn got trapped into their own space. And then Carl, Lori, and Maggie got out. And then, because remember, Maggie's the one that cut her open to get the baby out. And Lori's like, you know, save the baby. Like, one of us is going to go, and, you know, I'm willing to let it be me. But yeah, no doubt. I mean, her along with Rick and Shane in different ways absolutely got themselves into some, you know, shenanigans earlier in the show because of everything that happened. You know, it set the course for it. I mean, Judith, you know. Yeah. I mean, and they even said, like, there's a way better chance that it's Shane's than it is Rick's, you know, just based on the timeline.
Yeah.
But I would say, yeah, where were you at on that one?
Yeah, it was Beth over Lori.
Beth over Lori. All right, well, next up and final one on the board here. We've got our main measuring stick, Beth Green, or somebody that joined us at Cape Con 2023, Aaron. Ross Marquand. One of the great impressionists right now.
Yeah. Aaron was a likable character. He was
debuted halfway through season 5.
He was also a loyal, cared for the group guy.
Mm-hmm.
He went through hell for him.
He did. Wow.
Opening drive touchdown.
Wow. Starting off hot. Wow.
But damn, that's fire, dude. I don't know if I even expected that. That big CD.
No, that was huge.
Pass, too. That's nice.
It was nice for both of us. Yeah, dude. I honestly, I got it. CD. Side note to this or that. I got it because I'm like, he fell to me, and I'm like, he was better than, like, yeah, I would have taken Saquon, Bijan, Jamar Chase in my Target Elites League, or Justin Jefferson maybe over him, or like if there was like 5 people ahead of me. But I was like, after that, I don't think going down in running back quality is worth getting any of these guys, because I know CD's going to get a massive fucking workload. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, ultimately, I felt like that was the right move. And I did think I said that at one point. I'm like, if he's available, I'll get him. But I'm like, unless he falls to me, I'm not necessarily going to go out of my way. But it worked out to where he was the best guy on the board, and that was my first pick. 5 guys off the board. That was probably the best value I could get, and I was like, that's fine, because I knew he was gonna light it up. So
that is true. He always does. He's the man.
Yeah, he's the go-to guy.
So, side note aside. Yeah, Aaron, man, the hell he went through to get Oceanside, which really didn't even matter that much.
They came in through a bunch of fireballs and shit in there.
Rocks and shit. But, I mean, he cared. He really, truly did care.
No, he was definitely a good dude. He got the hell beat out of him for his group because, like, remember Rick? But they were just whooping his ass whenever he came to the farm, or not the farm, the barn, because that was after they had lost everything and they'd been on the road, you know, too. Like, I mean, after no sanctuary and everything, but so, but he was doing what he had to do. But honestly, he told the truth. It existed. He let him there. He let him join the community. Aaron definitely made a difference in the show, and he was the throughput guy for why they ended up in Alexandria in the first place. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, he definitely had a personable, friendly, good, commutable quality about him.
Yeah.
That being said, I personally probably liked Beth more. So, Beth for the win.
All right. I think tonight you took Merle Negan, the governor.
I think that was it.
I think that was it. So Beth wins on a 7-3 margin.
There you go.
Ratio. So, all right. Well, she kicks some ass.
Beth for the win.
Alrighty, well, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps this or that tonight. We've still got movie reviews to come and a round of the good, the bad, and the shits. Keep listening, and we will be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back from our break, and it is time for the movie review segment, followed by the good, the bad, and the shits. And the movies we will be reviewing this time around are 2 very familiar subjects, types of movies, types of things we would enjoy. Will Ferrell in Talladega Nights, Mickey Rourke as the wrestler. Definitely 2 things that appeal to us in a major way, you know. Right up the alley of the ideas of some of this podcast, you know.
Fits in well with the segment.
It does.
The movie swap. So yeah, I gave you Talladega Nights, and you gave me The Wrestler. We want to just kind of... Which one do we want to go over here first?
What are you thinking? You want to talk about The Wrestler?
Yeah, we entered with the music. We can go over that one first.
Yeah. So you had seen it before, but a long time ago.
It had been quite a while at this point. I was probably junior high, early high school, maybe. But I feel like it probably meant a little more, potentially, or I paid a little more attention to the story itself and kind of everything within it. Like Mickey Rourke, I can't say I don't. I'm sure I know other things he's been in, but that is kind of, without even seeing that movie, that's what I kind of knew he did. At least that, I'm like, oh yeah, I know he was in that movie. It's probably just because I'm a wrestling fan, but it was, kind of like also a dirty, dingy story. Just the way they kind of him and what was the main girl's name?
Her stage name is Cassidy, but the real lady's name is Pam in the story. They both kind of lived a hard life, you know what I mean, in a lot of ways with what they were doing, and They were both kind of
they were getting
slowly
older.
aging out of their profession, at the same time.
So it was kind of like that story. So it was very interesting and entertaining, and you like really did feel for the characters within it. But at the same time, like especially with Randy, and like he had moments where you really did feel bad for him, but then you were also like, man, you're a fuck up, dude. Why are you doing this?
Well, he missed that dinner with his daughter because, like, remember, like, the night before he got into it with Cassidy at the fucking
coked up.
at the and then he went out to party with them and Ron Killings and some of the other people that were at that show, in the movie, and so yeah, he ended up just, I guess, getting fucked up and doing that, and then he ended up in like her place.
In a fireman
He's like, gotta get the hell out of here. But it's like he went home and just slept and overslept, and then he literally just gave her that whole, he told her how he felt. He said, none of this is your fault. It's my fault. I was supposed to take care of this. I was supposed to take care of the family,
Yeah.
And he kind of, it seemed like it was at least the very start of her trusting him again,
Yeah.
And then the first thing that happens is he fucks it up again.
Yeah.
It's like, it sucks because you do feel bad, but it's like that situation he definitely got into because, that's just how he dealt with the fallout of that, because I think he wanted more with Pam or Cassidy, however you want to refer to her. And Marissa Tomei played her in the Wrestler. Fucking fantastic job too.
Yeah, she was she was a good character too. She had a lot of moments that were like, again, her character wasn't always like the most agreeable, but you also like understood her and felt bad for her, kind of like Randy too. Sometimes it was just like they didn't live the best lives or make the best decisions, but
yeah,
they were kind of like two of the same in some ways, But yeah, that was a pretty well done main character because he was like complex, not necessarily like all good, all likable, but certainly not all bad either. Like you knew that he tried,
Dude, he like
just was
felt like Randy the Ram Robinson, like just fully.
Yeah.
Too. And he was like formerly in some 80s movies, and then he had his stuff go on, and I don't know, he did different things. I guess he was like boxing or something for a while, and then he fucked up which is why he got some of the surgery he did, and then he got even more done probably, I'm sure, in recent years. But other than that, yeah, I knew, and that was kind of like the start of his resurgence. Like, Darren, how do you say his last name?
Aronofsky.
Yeah.
Aronofsky.
He, like, whenever he wanted him for that, it was, like, crazy because that was, like, the start of a Mickey Rourke resurgence, and, like, he got cast in multiple things. He was a villain in Iron Man 2, shortly after that, too. But he said, he's like, I think that was the hardest movie we've ever had to make, and it's probably the best, movie ever made. Like, the character, everything. So I know he, like, gives it a lot of props, and he didn't necessarily have, not that he disrespected it, but all the respect in the world for it. And then after, like, getting in the ring and kind of seeing it all, he just, his mind completely changed about it.
Yeah.
And I know he worked it with guys, and then he was at WrestleMania 25. Punched Jericho, didn't he?
He was supposed to have that match against him, apparently. That was originally the slated idea before Jericho got teamed up to face a bunch of legends. Was Jericho and Mickey, because the wrestler was like kind of new around that time. But it fell through. And I guess there was some real beef for a minute because like Jericho heard that, so he kind of thought that was happening, so he started taking like shots at him, and he took like offense to it apparently, I guess.
Yeah, because he was probably he's just working, and he's not gonna like Mickey seems pretty old school too.
Yeah,
and he's like he's not he maybe he did take offense to it. But it's like, if it's not that makes sense though, if he didn't know. And so he's just like, I'm just gonna start this fucking social media commentary bullshit on you. But yeah, Mickey, like, dude, he really did embody Randy the Ram Robinson though. Like, it felt like that was a dude that like had busted, just his ass for years and like fell, for whatever reason, like maybe divorced, maybe whatever else, just however, he just was down on his luck and hadn't, probably spent a lot of the money that he had from the day.
Yeah.
And doing drugs and shit like that, whatever, back then, just partying with a lot of the 80s. I mean, because he was right there in it. Like, I don't know. I think it was so badass, though, like, and I know, we were both watching, whatever. Like, just one of my favorite parts of the movie, though, is whenever Marissa Tomei finds him backstage right before he goes out, and then gives him that whole thing, but your heart, and he's like, listen, he's like, the only place I get hurt is out there. The world doesn't give a shit about me. And she's like, but the doctor said, and he's like, listen, I know what I'm doing, and he's just like, this is where I belong. Fucking Sweet Child of Mine comes on, goes through the fucking, goes towards the ramp, comes through the curtain. American flag comes down.
Yeah.
That shit was fucking sick. And then like that, and then he gets to the ring, gives the whole speech, and like, of course, they start working, and it's actually starting to be hard on his heart and everything. But it just, I thought, like, especially from the moment that she found him backstage and they had that conversation, and then he came in, I was like, man, that shit was fucking legendary. Like, it just... And then his speech in the ring was emotional too,
Yeah.
So it was like, I thought it was so well done.
Yeah, it really was. I really enjoyed. I mean, it felt like a super real part of the
hardcore match.
The movie, yeah. The part with Necro Butcher.
Yeah.
Just because, like, I have a weird relationship with Necro Butcher anyways in his matches, because I'm like fascinated by him and the crazy shit.
Mm-hmm.
And like, but I'm also like, he just makes me cringe, and I don't really want to watch him all that often. But at the same time, I'm like, damn, dude, that guy's a legend in his own right, like the barefoot too, and all that glass and shit all the time. He just is in there barefoot. A crazy son of a bitch, dude. He takes it to another level.
See, like, that's why I thought the conversation backstage he had with Randy was really funny, because he's like, I don't look good, but I feel good. Like, and it's just funny that he embraces the fact that he's like, yeah, I'm never gonna be the fucking pretty boy wrestler or this, or so he's like, I'm just gonna be the whole, like, I'm just gonna be the most hardcore crazy son of a bitch and like get over that way. And it's just like next thing I remember, like, whenever I showed Cheatham the wrestler too, whenever that scene popped up, like with the deathmatch looking type shit, not that was per se a deathmatch, but it was really fucking brutal. It kind of was. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
Cheatham,
that's what it was.
I remember showing this to Cheatham a long time ago, and that within probably a year or two of it coming out.
Necro Butcher and like Nick Gage, they're like the deathmatch dudes.
And Cheatham was like, oh, like he like just fucking just cringed from the blood and the brutalness, the glass and shit, but he actually did, not the way he feels about it, but like he actually really did enjoy the movie too. So I mean, I've shown the movie to so many people.
Yeah, it's, when it comes to pro wrestling, there's not a whole lot of movies you can like write home about, Yeah. And that's certainly one of them. We have like the Iron Claw that you can say is like a really well done wrestling movie now as well. But it's like true story family tragedy in a lot of ways as well. I mean, this, although a fiction, still a tragedy.
Yeah.
The Wrestler.
It's like a drama
But
tragedy.
it is also pretty well done. So it's probably Mickey Rourke's career film. It really probably is. Which is crazy to say.
Golden Globe he won for. It's the only movie he's ever won a Golden Globe for.
Yeah.
And he even said, he's like, I think that was the hardest thing I've ever done, but that's the best movie I think I've ever, like, the best character he's ever played. That's what he said. And I'm like, damn, to hear, like, because that's dope, especially whenever they pull somebody that's not necessarily inside the business. I don't want to see somebody inside the business per se play somebody anyways like that. I would rather see somebody that knows how to act, do it, but do it the right way, you know what I mean? And have respect for it and play it, you know? I mean, not that the wrestlers wouldn't be good actors. Obviously, some of them became that, but it's just like, well, you know how to be a wrestler. Like, why do you need to play one in a movie? Why won't you just go back and fucking wrestle a match? But anyway, the stuff definitely with his daughter was pretty. Evan Rachel Wood, she was married to Marilyn Manson for
I know I've
some time.
like known her name.
Yeah, that's who that was.
Yeah.
Then that one fucking manager at the meat place, the deli place, man, he was watching porn on his fucking computer.
Yeah, that guy, dude,
during
the
fucking like during his shift.
I hated that dude.
Dude, like, just, and then I just remember different things that have happened, like, whenever I've watched this, but, like, whenever me and Nick watch or Stevens, you know, and like, how Nick was talking about that, whenever he's just like,
it's like, I'd
punches the meat slicer.
That manager forever,
oh,
too.
Yeah.
I'd be like, dude, if you ever try to get me in trouble in this fucking store, I swear to God, I'll tell the top manager, I'll be like, dude, he's not doing anything around here.
Yeah.
I've caught him watching porn on the office computers. But yeah, that's when he just like crashed out and lost his job, basically.
Well, that one guy's like, are you Teamsters? Are you whatever? He's like, I know he's from someplace, and this is just that
you
guy.
Are so familiar.
It's just like, you won't fucking give it up. It's like, fucking order your meat.
Are you Mikey's? You're not one of Mikey's friends, are you?
Yeah.
Who the fuck is that? No, yeah. I don't know.
It was definitely like that. And then he's just like, wait a minute. Randy the Ram? Wrestler from the 80s?
Yeah, that wrestler from
Ram
the 80s.
Jam! And then he's just like, you look just like the dude, except older. And he's just like, he just gets that wrestler, like, I don't know, he's just like, and then he's just like, yeah, and then it's like the worst thing to punch. It's like, man, that
just slices his hand up.
Oh yeah.
Why would you punch that? Squirts blood everywhere. Yeah. Wipes it on his face. You want some fucking cheese, lady?
Yeah. Get your own fucking cheese. Elbows the trick cereal. Fucking gets pissed, man. That was a great blow up though. That was fucking classic.
Good times. Yeah, overall though, very well done. For like pro wrestling fans, that's like it's like a movie for you, kind of.
Yeah,
you know?
a very respectable, like, worthy film to give you. And it's not obviously representative of all of wrestling, but it definitely gives you an insight to some of the reality of what they deal with, you know, I would say. Like, or that, like, road travel life is like. So, the struggling man.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was, I love that one. It's definitely, I hold it in high regard. I don't know where I'd place it, but it's up there. It's most certainly in my top 25.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew you were a very big fan of it. It is, yeah, very well done. I feel like any wrestling fan, it's one of those movies that any wrestling fan, is going to get something out of, but even like non-wrestling fans can get something out of as well.
Yeah.
Just because it is kind of like a drama piece, and it's part like Pam's story a little bit too, and there's just kind of a lot going on other than wrestling for sure.
Yeah.
Within it.
I don't know, man. Those in those scenes too, like whenever he's just like after all that shit, because I think he calls the promoter to say it's back on after the blow up at the store, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I want to do it. What? I want to wrestle. And then they're like, but there's no money. Like I can't pay you any money. And he's just like, and that's when he's like, you can't hardly hear it that well. But he's like, listen, man, I don't give a shit. I just want to wrestle. And that's when Balls to the Wall comes on and he just starts fucking getting back in shape, and it's just definitely shouldn't be doing it. It's like, dude, you had like open heart fucking surgery. You like basically had a heart attack. There's just no way anybody's passing you for this fucking thing. But I guess they didn't care. But
He
like
just
for this
didn't tell
physical
him.
or anything. Yeah. Oh yeah. But,
He's just a legend. They're like, well, if he wants to be on the show, hell yeah.
oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah, intense stuff though, man. Intense stuff.
And then on the more light side, I gave you the Talladega Nights.
Talladega Nights. Yeah.
That was it had been a minute since I'd even watched that.
It's one of Will
Handful of
Ferrell's
years.
renowned films, like that became. I mean, that's another one after like Elf and like Old School and some of those started coming out that like that really pushed him, you know, over the top as like one of the biggest comedic stars in the comedy film world.
Yeah, he was pretty hilarious in that. Just that movie also, like you even said before you even watched it, there was just so many lines from it.
Many.
That people had said throughout the years, or that it became memes or whatever else. But his character, all in all, is just hilarious. It's just like all built on being the best and the shit, and nobody being as good as him. That was like his whole life.
In his fucking run at the top, man. Again, there was so many more layers to that story than I thought there was gonna be. From like whenever he was younger to like having his heyday, and then being like, I can't do it. Fucking tight, attitude.
Yeah.
Like a lot of these films after he falls off the top.
He's like...
And then it just had so
I'm on
many
fire.
more layers, because he's just like, oh, my wife's with, like, his best friend. He would never, he would never let his best friend, what'd you say?
Cal,
yeah.
He would like, it was always second.
Oh yeah. Well, he's just like, won't you let me win one sometime or whatever? Yeah. And
so it'd be cool if one time, because they had that slingshot.
He rejected him like 3 times.
He's like, it'd be cool if one time you slingshot me into the lead. He's like,
yeah. Okay. Oh yeah.
And I could take a win. He's like, yeah, I mean that'd be pretty cool, but if you win, how am I gonna win? You know?
Yeah. That shit was awesome. Yeah, no, I knew it was like a charismatic character and like, Will Ferrell fucking come to life, of course, movie. But yeah, it had so many different. I didn't know like he lost his wife and then John C. Reilly like got with her and stuff and all that. I was like, what the fuck is going on at this point? And then he gets back in it and has the fucking meltdowns and runs around and
thinks he's on fire after every race.
It's like rolls around and still saying it.
Rips his fire suit off. It's like that suit prevents you from catching on fire. Why would you strip out of it into your underwear?
I guess I gotta correct the record though now, is I finally watched Talladega Nights and I did like it.
Yeah.
So I'm putting that to bed.
It's pretty enjoyable.
Yeah. Yeah, I was a fan. Like I think
it's like an easy watch.
There's so many people from everything, like comedy wise, after that, around that time, that were like a star, like a side character.
His dad was who was his dad? Damn it, you said his name. Gary Cole.
Yeah. Who's like a boss or like some dickhead, like authoritative position in every film he's in.
Yeah.
Pretty much like Pineapple Express, Office Space.
He was like a real dick, pretty much.
Dude,
in this, too.
He was the manager in fucking 1 Hour Photo too.
Oh,
so he was a dick to Psy, to Robert Williams' character. The older man.
A dick manager.
Yeah, and he's like, I don't ever want to fucking see you in this store again. Like, once he knew that he was like making doubles of all these photos and keeping some for himself, he's just like, we all know what you did. Oh man. But yeah, he's a natural, like, just prick.
Yeah.
You know?
He was pretty hilarious in that movie though too. He's just like constantly doing the wrong thing.
Him as Will Ferrell's dad. That's what I thought was kind of funny. I was like, oh my god. Dad!
He's just like, oh man, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. But he's like, if you're not first, you're last. He's like, when I said that, I was high, son.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know what the hell I was saying. You could be first, second, third,
What he lived
fourth.
his life by turned out to be bullshit.
Yeah, he's like, I built my whole life around that.
His whole persona, Ricky Bobby.
I mean, that's a dope slogan though, dope saying.
Yeah. Trademark it. Yeah, I thought that shit was hilarious too. And they're like, all right, try it blindfolded. And then fucking he runs into like the cars, just boop, 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 and then they run right into the fucking house. Dude, that killed me. And then like, you hear like police cars or sirens or whatever, like, and sirens and shit. And then he's like, he's like, take off the blindfold, son. And then the sirens go off, and he's just like, he's like, don't do that. It's like we weren't blindfold fucking running into houses over here. Another illegal thing after already running into somebody's fucking house.
About the worst thing you could do.
I thought that was just fucking hilarious.
I mean, you could hit somebody. That'd be worse. I mean, if you ran into somebody's house.
Oh, dude, there's a good chance somebody was in that area, especially if it's like a living room or.
Ricky Bobby, man.
No, that was a fun movie, I will say, for sure.
Yeah, that character is just like a very...
It did help make Will
iconic comedy character.
Sure. Yeah. It did help make him, I think.
Yeah.
And then I think I definitely think because of their chemistry, because their chemistry with like him and John C. Reilly was tremendous, you know, in that. And I'm sure they decided to make Step Brothers like based off of some of that.
He's like at his house that he used to live in, like with his wife and kids. He's like, come over, man, hang out in the hot tub for a while. And he's like caving almost. He's like, all right, man. He's like, what car you want me to pick you up in? He's like, I want the Hummer or whatever. He's like, I'll be over it, or the Jeep. He's like, I'll be over in the Jeep. He's like, wait, no, screw you, man. That dude in the subway was hilarious too.
Oh yeah, motherfucker, I've got problems. I don't give a fuck about your problems.
He's like, I'm going through some stuff right now, man. He's like, I don't give a fuck what you're going through, motherfucker. It just came at him so intense.
That was so funny. That part, like, I didn't think anything was gonna happen when he got on the fucking subway either. Pizza delivery.
He's like, you want to talk about problems?
That was just unexpectedly just hilarious.
Yeah. I was a fan.
Yeah, that was a fun one for sure. Definitely like, I don't know if I would have appreciated it like earlier on or not. But I'm sure like I've been open to watching it for like a number of years probably now. I just haven't. We watch so much stuff that I'm like, if I don't make a point of watching it, then it'll just be pushed off.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. It was one of like Will Ferrell's big ones, and I think I've seen most of them or almost all of them. So that was one of the only ones that was like from that time, especially like that it was just a stone left unturned,
Yeah.
And it was like, oh shit, unlock this that I've never seen before, which is crazy because the movies came out 19 years ago.
Yeah, it is wild.
Man, but that comedy run, like
great.
I do recognize too that film was a critical, like probably crucial part of the growth of in the star power of Will Ferrell, into like Step Brothers and so forth too. So yeah, that was definitely one that he came alive in, kind of like how we always talk about like Jack Black and School of Rock, or like people, like those were movies made for those people.
Yeah,
like they make sense with the
starring in them.
Exactly, yeah. Same as like some of the Vince Vaughn films and the Adam Sandler movies. Jim Carrey.
Usually like the comedic guys.
Yeah.
Feels like they can get a movie kind of catered their way.
I most certainly enjoyed
movies
it.
You can do that for comedy actors. You can kind of like stage a comedy movie to fit somebody's, strengths. Yeah, it's a very, like I said, I feel like a lot of Will Ferrell's like sports comedies are some of my favorites of his in a lot of ways, like Semi-Pro, Talladega Nights, Blades of Glory.
And honestly, I would say like Semi-Pro and Blades of Glory are probably underrated.
Yeah.
And I mean Talladega Nights. I mean, now as my opinion has matured and I've actually watched it, so I can actually judge it fairly. I would say it's probably fair. Because, I mean, also now, if anything, it's not like it's at a hype level. Like, there's people that absolutely remember it and they're like, oh, that's hilarious. But it's not like it's talked about every day of the week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, man, I love those. And, like, most people still love Ferrell and all those guys. You wish they were doing more stuff. It's like, release some movies on platforms. Even if you don't do it in theaters, like, give us something. But
I know.
These people fucking destroyed comedy.
It feels insane that there's so many streaming services they want you to sign up for, and out of like the 8 or 9 that you have, like you can't find a very well-known and classic like comedy movie on any of them. It's like, how am I paying all this money for this shit and none of these services have this?
This is why you gotta fucking get we gotta go back and we gotta get some actual physical things, like copies and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a shitload of them, but it's, I do understand that because they're gonna wipe some of the stuff clean and like the shit's gonna go away if they, because we can't control what they put on their platforms too. So, prepare for that.
Yeah, I know. I have like a handful of movies in my library that I bought on Prime, but I bought all those cheap when they were on like sale and stuff. When it was like rent for $2.99 or buy for $3.99, it's like, why would I not buy this right now?
Yeah.
But yeah, outside of that, I mainly own physical media. If it's not, I'm just gonna watch a movie on a streaming service I have, or I'll just buy it on Prime if it's cheap, kind of situation, Either way, there's still like, as a movie fan, there's kind of like that aspect of wanting to physically own movies that you enjoy, that you like, that you're personally a fan of. You like want to have the physical copy, kind of. You're like, oh, I'm a fan of this movie, I should own it. Even if it's like accessible on things. That's the thing, though, too. Sometimes I'm like, should I really part with money on this right now when I have other things I do want to buy or could buy? And I could watch this movie on these streaming services I have right now.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, why am I paying for the streaming service? Then it kind of goes back to that argument. But I'll always be a advocate for physical media.
Yeah.
That being said, should we do our good, the bad, and the shits here?
Yeah, what are we going to do about movie? Are we going to give each other another one?
Oh, yeah. I guess we could get into the horror season a little bit.
Because next week, I do believe we're just going to roll with another solo.
Okay.
That's, and then if we do that, we can just review this one this next week, and then either do another one or find a good time, you know, because I was like, well, yeah, we might as well. You got something in mind?
Yeah, I mean, since it's kind of earlier on in the horror season, I might go something a little on the lighter side, but still within the realm.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's on a streaming service. If not, I might just buy the physical copy because I'm a fan of this movie anyways. And I've kind of wanted you to check it out for a minute, but now's as good a time as any. It's kind of like ridiculous, but hilarious, but like also kind of heartfelt mummy movie. Bubba Hotep. Starring Bruce Campbell. And I think like Ossie Davis is the other guy. It's in like elderly black man that thinks he's JFK. And Bruce Campbell's character is supposed to be the real life Elvis who swapped lives with a guy who was a worse drug addict. And that guy ended up dying. And the real life Elvis fell into obscurity and ended up in a retirement home because he wanted to get away from fame because it was eating him alive.
Huh.
So, it's pretty funny though.
It's an interesting premise.
Bubba Hotep, man.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a movie that's really like, for some reason, I don't even remember how I originally stumbled upon it. I recommend it all the time. In like horror chats and things where I can. It like fell to obscurity, but man, I'm a fan. I even have a Bubba Hotep shirt. I'll probably wear it next episode when we talk about it.
Yeah. Bubba Hotep.
Yeah.
All right, well.
Lots of fun.
I am curious. What platform is that on?
I'm not even sure. It was on a lot of stuff for a while. Like I said, I'm not even sure if it's on anything.
I definitely don't know much about it, though. I think maybe I saw it on something of
it's on
yours,
Tubi.
or maybe you've put it on a list before, haven't you?
Yeah, I've put it on like the last couple at least, I think.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Check. You have to check that out.
It's on Tubi and Pluto, but yeah, you can also rent it for $2.99. It looks like.
I think one of the initial movies that I was gonna bring up, I may push that off for at least another week, but I have a different one.
That's why I was like.
That in the meantime,
there is some horror movies.
Yeah.
That I will probably suggest to you, but I might, wait till a little bit. I mean, this is still within that realm, but it's not anything you're going to be scared by. If anything, you're gonna laugh.
I do have one for you that is a little bit in that realm, but it's like kind of a drama horror kind of. How else would I describe it? With like a sort of a religious element to it. I'm just going to read this overview, but it says, on the day of his scheduled execution, a convicted serial killer tells a psychiatrist that he's a demon who can possess his body. As the evaluation ends, he also tells the doctor that he will soon commit 3 murders of his own. So,
man, this sounds interesting. All right, this sounds like
this movie is called
familiar.
Nefarious.
Okay, yeah, I think you told me, or
Yeah.
you've read that description to me before.
So, this patient, like, who has killed, like, multiple people is claiming that he's got multiple personalities, but Satan, like a demon's intercepting his body, and, you know, the psychiatrist is basically, by the end of the day, got to sign off on if he's fit to be executed or not, but he's got to talk to him and spend time with him, and so they're, like, constantly trying to figure out if he's... This is another thing, like we were talking about earlier, with this, like, this psychological aspect. They're trying to figure out. They're like, okay, well, he actually did this, but is he telling the truth about being split personality, or, you know, what? They're not even considering really. Does he actually have a demon in him, or is he bullshitting this, or, you know, what's the real truth? And it constantly has you wondering what the situation is. And the guy that plays, you know, Adam Davies in Entourage, that was a rival of Ari for a while. He like came. He was just Ari fired him, and he's kind of a smart ass dude. That, yeah, I mean, he's anyway. That's the psychiatrist guy, and he just kind of comes in. And he's like, I think he's atheist, maybe he says. So it's like an interesting dynamic too with the guy who is the serial killer. But I thought that was I ended up seeing that movie in theaters like a little over 2 years ago, and that was kind of one, like, and I'll see movies like that every now and then that I don't know all that much about, but I'm like, I'll check that out, see if it's good, like find one that's decently rated at least. And that was like the one at that time I went to see, and I was like, oh shit, that was really good. And I finally rewatched it. I don't think I rewatched it horror season like 2 years ago, but I did rewatch it last year. So I was like, oh man, I might have to watch that again too. It was a really solid one. I think that one would be a good one. So I just thought of it the other day, and I'm like, oh, perfect. We'll slide at least that one in there before, you know, the other one. But we will get to those. So what is it? Fucking Bubba Hotep, and Nefarious.
Seems
right.
like, yeah.
Nefarious is on something.
You've been going a little more the serious, and I've been going a little more the comedic here as of late. Man, that's like...
It says it's on Prime, so...
Because Bubba Hotep, man, that was on stuff for so long. I mean, I guess it is still on some free sites, but... That was on, like, Prime and Peacock for so long. And now I guess we're getting within the season. They're like, oh, people might watch this.
Yeah. Dude, it does seem like, I was looking through the list and I'm like, where the fuck are some of the old classic stuff? Like, it seems like none of them have shit on there. Like, horror stuff.
They will eventually. It'll happen.
But, yeah, so that'll be interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I think those are gonna be fucking interesting.
Should be a good time. We're getting within the season a little more now.
So, but yeah, that I was gonna say that I counted for my list last year, so I'm like, that's a good one. But it's obviously up that vein of kind of like psychological horror drama, but not yet, you know, a lot of the stuff that we get into. So those, I found some of those really interesting lately. The psychological like dramas and the horror comedies and stuff like that. So
yeah, they're a lot of fun sometimes.
I guess we should
horror
do
comedies like a lot of fun within the list a lot of times, because if you watch something that's a little heavier, a little rougher or something, like follow it up with a horror comedy that's like light and a good time, you're like, oh yeah, and this is what I needed.
You want to go on with the good, the bad, and the shits?
We can roll into it.
Alrighty, well, we got the movies. We got to review them. I'm sure we'll do another edition next time we come around. Yeah. So, for now, let's roll with the good, the bad, and the shits. And you want to start off?
Yeah, okay. What is your opinion? This is kind of like an out of the blue because we were talking about sort of underappreciated or not really. Everybody sort of knows them, but nobody really talks about them, actors and things like that. What is your opinion on? I don't know if you've asked me. I don't think I've asked you this though. Robert Patrick.
Oh yeah.
He might have been on an actor's list for this or that for you to me before. I don't remember.
Maybe wasn't he the bad guy in the first Marine?
I think so.
And he was Johnny Cash's dad and walked the line. He was a dick. And he played a dick in Johnny Cash's dad. What else was he? He was in a lot of different stuff, though.
Oh, yeah.
Let's pull up his filmography.
He was,
you got it pulled up?
Big, once Mulder, or David Duchovny, once he left X-Files, Robert Patrick had a big part in that show. He kind of took over as the co-leader. Really, he kind of took over as the lead. Season like 8 and part of 9. Dog it. I enjoyed him there. But that's because I wasn't watching that show live, so I enjoyed his episodes just fine, even though I really did like Mulder.
Yeah.
But people watching live apparently at the time really bitched about that, and I understand because you're 7 seasons in, and then one of the main 2 people's like, all right, I'm out, and they just bring in this other guy. But I knew Robert Patrick, so I'm like, oh, this guy's good, you know.
Oh yeah, no, he's a good actor. I think honestly, some of the stuff I've seen him in, and he played other not necessarily leading characters, but supporting characters.
He was
other ones.
Johnny Cash's dad, right?
Yeah.
And Walk the Line, he was a son of a bitch there.
Oh yeah, The Men Who Stare at Goats he was in. Balls of Fury, Bridge to Terabithia, We Are Marshall.
Balls of Fury.
Uncredited in that though. Flags of Our Fathers, Supercross, Ladder 49. I remember seeing him in that too. Yeah. Yeah, I think he's
a lot of stuff I've seen. I feel like
he's probably pretty quiet. So I'd probably say he's maybe a little underrated.
Yeah. If anything, I'd probably agree too. I feel like he's kind of had that's kind of maybe the way you want to do it though, because he's had a successful career. He's been in a lot of different things that are decently successful to successful. So, I mean,
he's typically a pretty good villain.
Yeah, he's kind of got that look and aura about him.
Mm-hmm.
Although in X-Files, his character actually was a good guy, and it worked. I mean, but yeah, he can easily play an asshole, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that though too. Oh my God!
Shit.
Busted one out.
Keeping it in the actor's direction, I'm gonna bring him back up with our conversation off air because I thought it was pretty interesting, and he's kind of had a quiet he's played a lot of big roles, in ways, but also you don't really hear a lot of buzz about him. So Michael Shannon, and I did watch that Take Shelter movie, and I mean, dude, he's a convincing actor too. He's a hell of an actor. Mm-hmm. And I mean, he's played villains. He's good at that. Like I said, he played that Iceman movie. I think I added that to my list last year. Actually, that's a good one. Boston Strangler is also another good one. I think it might be Keira Knightley that's in that, but that was really good based on the
Boston Strangler.
That one, the Woman of the Year movie. Those are both good, and those are tied directly into true serial killer stories.
Woman of the Hour.
Yeah, or Woman. What did I say? Of the Year. I keep thinking because you hear that more often.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, no, that was that was good.
Yeah, those are real life kind of mixture. Because the serial killer stuff is interesting to us, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like
we were just sitting there and
they
Cheatham
can
was
do it
watching
well.
on my phone.
Yeah. He was like sleeping.
Yeah.
We're just sitting on the couch
We were
with
just
a headphone each.
Yeah, just as fucking interested as ever, just on this fucking thing. It's like, oh my god, just because that stuff was spooky and like you want to know and you want to know why and like how things happened and like that Ed Gein fucking the next project
Monster.
by what's his name? Yeah, it's coming out. American Horror Story. What's his name? The guy that did that?
Oh yeah,
Ryan Murphy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's gonna be, dude. He's not gonna be able to stop this because people are gonna eat this stuff alive. That's nasty, man.
Damn it.
I know. But yeah, I as far as Michael Shannon goes, man, Take Shelter was pretty good, and that's another one where you kind of got to really wonder. You're like, is this like legit or is he just full of shit and everybody knows it, kind of thing, and he's just losing his mind. But it's not even just that question, but it's he does a great job.
And what else was he? He was
also in World Trade Center too.
Yeah, he was in World Trade Center. I know, I definitely know his face from things.
Yeah, all those, man. Woman of the Hour, Boston Strangler, fucking Iceman.
The Shape of
Those
Water.
are dope.
Iceman. Knives Out. 8 Mile. Is that even?
He might have been fucking his. He might have been his Eminem's like mom's boyfriend. Kim Bassinger's boyfriend. Oh my god, I think that was him.
Could have been, yeah.
And he was like a dick.
Bullet Train. Groundhog Day. If he was in Groundhog Day, he had to be on. Kangaroo Jack. That was his standout role. The Bike Rider.
Zod. Oh my god. Uh-oh. Yeah, we're good.
Again, I'd probably, if anything, say underrated.
Yeah, dude, I've always seen him like sell his ass off on screen, like, and he really does not get talked about.
Oh yeah, he's kind of like what you were saying with Robert Patrick. Like, he's made a good career for himself, quietly, kind of like, not necessarily like when you see. I'm sure even people that decently watch movies but don't really know names, with both those guys, like, see them pop up in something, they're like, oh, I've seen them before.
Yeah,
recognizable enough because they get roles, but they're not like mega movie stars or anything.
Another shout out, he was also Mr. Green in The Night Before.
Oh yeah. that was a good role. That was a good role.
It really was. That was a funny character. It definitely added, dude. Some of the people that quote that movie quote him more than anybody else.
I mean, Rogan, man, he had some hilarious
lines
and moments. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Turnover.
Oh no, we can't afford that shit, man. I need points. Well, I'll throw it to AJ.
He's holding one of my guys. What do you mean they're scoring a touchdown? Shut the fuck up, you guys are dumb.
So you're gonna go underrated on Michael Shannon?
Yeah, underrated.
Alrighty. Well, what do you got?
Oh yeah, I don't even gotta look. Well, since we're highly distracted by football anyways at the moment.
Yep.
Cowboys Eagles happening live. What do you think about? Because we're doing more games out of market now, like out of country. And I think that's cool in itself that they're trying, they're kind of branching out, and if the other countries are like into it, they want to see games, like that's cool. I think that is kind of a neat experience and stuff, but the Chiefs and the Chargers are playing in Brazil this Friday. 1, crazy they're playing on a Friday. 2, they're playing in Brazil. So what do you think about a week 1 game being out of country? Because I don't know if this is just like Me personally, like, I don't, I guess, have stake in the game. I'm not a fan of either team. I don't have a home team, and I probably wouldn't go to the game regardless, but it almost feels like opening week should be at a home team stadium. You know, in some ways.
Yeah,
like,
maybe. But I mean, if only one team's gonna do it, they're gonna kind of switch teams in and out, you know, for a while of that spot. But I definitely see what you mean. Like, starting on kind of the same. I mean, I guess the other thing is it doesn't disproportionately advantage or disadvantage either team. It's both in a stadium that they're not used to being in.
Yeah.
But
highly different.
So a week 1 game being there?
Yeah, like starting the season off in an out of country game.
I think it's fair. I don't know if I was.
And one
How
of the
did they
teams
figure
that
that
was
out,
in
though?
the Super Bowl is in that game.
How did they figure out that, though, is what I don't understand. Like,
They
whenever you have
usually
17 games, how do you know who gets 8 or 9 away or home, or how does that even work? I've never heard anybody answer that. I've never even heard anybody propose that there is an answer to how they figured it out.
Yeah, I don't really know. I think if you have more of a winning record, now that we have more,
That's why it needs to go back.
now
to
that we
like
have an
even number.
uneven amount, I think you have a winning record. Maybe you get one more home game than away game.
The previous year.
That seems like the most logical way to do it, because it seems like if your team's doing good, you're going to be more likely to sell more tickets, so they give you an extra home game. That just feels like business, but I don't really know if. And what are we have a thunderstorm? If there's a rain delay, I gotta go home and sleep. I'm not doing this.
I hope not.
Game's been suspended with lightning in the area.
No.
Ain't that about it?
I heard that the game was like there was gonna be rain. Oh man, yeah, they're definitely like.
Can we like
That's shitty.
finish the quarter, man?
They should.
Damn. Well. But yeah, so you would say fair to the autumn.
I'd probably say fair. I don't know how they figure all that out, but I guess it makes it to where.
I think they said that this game in particular is going to count as a Chargers home game, which I'm like, that's kind of shitty for them. But
Yeah, but they're ungrateful. I don't give a fuck.
somebody's going to have to take it, and I feel like
That's more of a Dodger and Lakers town. than-
more than likely, it's going to. You're going to have more of a ticket sale, draw by giving the Chiefs an extra game. Their team's on fire. Not that the Chargers are going to be bad, but like LA just doesn't respect their football teams, really.
No.
So
Yeah, I'd probably say that.
yeah, well, I don't know. I think like I said, I think that it's cool that they do those games, and
But not to get
but
off
like
on the
just
wrong
to
track.
lead
week
the
one. I
season
kinda
off with
understand
that. I'm like, damn, it almost feels like the Chiefs almost deserve to start the season at home after being in the Super Bowl and stuff. Like, but, and yeah, it's just as like it throws I guess it's easier to do it at the beginning of the year than having to do it in the middle of the year, though.
Yeah,
Throw
everything
whole
off whack,
routine,
yeah.
but gonna be in Brazil tomorrow night. That's another game. It's gonna have some fantasy implication for me.
Well, wasn't it the Packers and the Eagles last year that played in Brazil?
It might have been, yeah. I think the Cardinals have played out there. The
was
Jaguars have played in England like 7 times.
Oh, yeah. That's insane.
He's talking about moving that team out there.
That's... Somebody's got to fly... That's fucking
every
crazy.
week. Like, yeah, are you kidding me?
Or they got to fly over. That's so much for them to be flying.
That's such a disadvantage.
Yeah. Oh, it really is.
Unless you're home.
Yeah. Oh, nobody has one. It's like, no, because nobody can win there.
I slept fucking 3 hours on the plane. And I had to come right here. And this foggy ass 58-degree weather.
Well, I guess it's time for my next one.
Yep. What do you got for me?
Well, I am going to say, after losing their offensive coordinator, well, I guess both coordinators, right? The Detroit Lions. What do you think of the Detroit Lions 2025 I guess playoff hopes or regular season success? Do you think people are like delusional? Just they're like, it's not going to affect. I mean, some people are aware that it's going to affect it, but in my opinion, also is like they do have enough talent to still make it fucking work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think they're still going to be a good team. I think it's still going to be a threat every week, pretty much. Hard to beat.
I do think they'll be battling it out more with the Packers, though, now. I definitely think that's going to be the top of the division, those two.
Yeah, I think those two will be the battle for the division, but yeah, I don't think that that the Lions are going to take a giant step back necessarily. I think they'll be fine. Like, yeah, Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn were both really good. But, it was kind of obvious with how the season was going for the Lions. Like, those coordinators were going to get scooped up if somebody needed coaches. Because they were, like, killing it in their roles,
Yeah.
So... I mean, it was almost a thing, I feel like if you're a Lions fan, you expected it was probably going to happen. Even though you didn't want it to happen. Especially with, like, Ben Johnson. Like, he was going to become a head coach. Aaron Glenn, too, after what he did with that defense. Just so many guys going down. He was still just shutting them down out there.
The schemes, man.
So... yeah, I think they'll be all right, but I don't know. Those coordinators were something. So we'll see if it is a step back in certain ways or if it'll be like a slower start since we got like, all new coaching staff in there and everything. But
yeah,
I do think that they'll still be a contending team and they'll make the playoffs if I had to predict, which I did predict them in the playoffs. So we'll see how it goes, but yeah, I don't think it's going to be like they're going to be 500 now.
Yeah.
Kind of situation.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be they have just too much talent, like, Gibbs and Montgomery and fucking even their tight end, Laporta. Yeah, Amon St. Brown.
And
Jared Goff,
Williams and Jared Goff.
Yeah. They have talent either way to make. Even if they lose a step on either side of the ball
Hutchinson.
Or both sides of the ball, I feel like they have the talent to always be competitive in what they currently have.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, just hopefully they hire decently, and hopefully it plays out on the field. But
yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
For you probably don't know. Being a Packers fan, you probably hope that they take a little bit of a step back.
Well, Lions are my second favorite team in that division, so.
It's like, yeah, if the Lions... That's the thing. They're one of those teams where it's like, they've never done it, and they've had teams that have been really, really, really bad at times, so it's like, when they are so close, it's hard not to root for them a lot of times.
Yeah.
You're just like, man, it'd be kind of neat
I
to see
know.
it.
It's kind of like, aw, they're trying. Nobody
Would be
wants
neat
to be.
see it.
Nobody wants to be a little Boyd like that. But they
Just
are a
need
big
to-
dog
It's
now.
neat to see the underdog kind of story, though, where it's like,
no, it is.
oh, this team is the team. Or to be that team. To be the team that's like, we were the whatever year Lions that finally brought Detroit the Super Bowl, you know?
Yeah. No, that would be sick. But Packers, baby. That's who we want to see.
At least one of us.
Yep. Oh, man. Well, I think that about wraps the good, the bad, and the shits for tonight.
That about does it.
We've got episode number 195 next. We'll review the films. We'll do another this or that. We got some more good, the bad, the shits rounds for you. We've got some guests on after that.
Oh, yeah.
And that's going to be a bomb-ass time. Well, anyways, as always, stay tuned and keep listening. We appreciate you guys. It's getting late. I'm fucking rolling over my
Oh,
words. But, yeah. Watching those fucking movies, man. Make your lists.
Been watching those movies, watching that football.
Yeah, watching
Getting to the
football
best
too,
time
man.
of the year here.
I know. Best time.
Always
Alrighty.
run a weather delay is what we're watching right
I
now.
know.
So.
Look, they're all here. There's going.
Here's the big storm.
But yeah, alrighty, well, thank you very much, folks. We will be seeing you soon on the next episode. In the meantime, have yourselves a great week. Watch your football. Take care.